Doom and Gloom Part 3. There will be no future investment in the betterment of men. Men will continue to be weak. Why? Why will men continue to be weak? They've successfully destroyed all of the spaces for men to build and be better. It all seems to be some part of some major plan to disband and disorganize and completely destroy from the inside society. And it seems like it's coming to fruition. It seems a little too true. It makes a little too much sense after you watch this video. There is no hope, only the realities of this. If you cannot take reality, please click off of this video because this will be eye-opening for you. They've destroyed all of the male spaces for men to grow and be better. There is no Boy Scout. Let me start here. Let's just start with the family. Men need a male figure. They need the authority and the discipline and the strictness from their father, the accountability from their father. But since through the gender war and through divorce court, they're being profit and disbanding families, women can get child support, fund their whole lifestyle depending on which man they get impregnated by. Some of these women get impregnated and on purpose just to leave and raise the child by themselves, alienating the father, making sure he doesn't get a male figure and doesn't grow into the man that he should be. And so they've destroyed the first teacher, the father. Then, when the woman is still single, as a single mother, trying to make it, she doesn't get any other male figures around to fix the void of that masculinity that the young boy needs. They've successfully gotten rid of all of Boy Scouts, after school programs, men's programs, mentorship. They've destroyed it all. And even if they do gather and get a good men's group going, what do? They call it toxic. They attack it, just like they did the manosphere, trying to infiltrate it through different women and propping up different people and pushing them through the algorithm to make sure it looks bad and gets destroyed in the end. Why? Because they do not want men to grow up and be successful, be strong. They want women to be strong and better than men. Then let's go into the male figures that are non-existent in school. Kindergarten through 12th grade. The only male figure that he possibly gets is if he's good enough and athletic enough to play sports. The male coach is the only one, but who knows what that means or what that looks like from the future, because women are now getting into these sports and coaching them. So where can a man in today's society get male leadership, male guidance? He needs it the most in his teenage years, but in the teenage years, all of these things have been destroyed. So there will be no investment in the betterment of men. Men will continue to falter and make critical mistakes. There will be no women for them to date, because the women's standards will have been risen to an unrealistic expectation, because society builds them up but neglects the young boys. And then on top of that, let's just say from a miraculous standpoint, the guy somehow makes it and becomes a masculine man. Somehow. When he tries to build a family, the family won't work. Why? Because today's modern women are drunk off of feminism. And even if they aren't liberal, they're still feminists, because you have different conservative women that still believe in feminism, women's empowerment. They don't want to be homemakers. They don't want to build with you. They don't want to cook for you, and they don't know how to at this point. Even if she wanted to, she probably wasn't taught that. She probably knows better how to work than how to cook something proper, bake something proper. So you guys will have another expense, paying for a maid. And also, since you'll be working, you'll be pushing the kids off to a nanny or a daycare, and the popular culture will raise them, because you two imbeciles will still be out working. And the phone, popular culture, propaganda will get your child and make them go in a different direction, because you aren't around long enough to impute and talk to them and reinforce good values. Even if you are a good woman, you get called a pick-me for being a good woman. Even if you are a good man, you still get cheated on, abused by women. So here's the reality. There's no male figures for men to look up to. And if they are, they somehow usurp that space and make it and destroy it, just like they're doing with the Red Pill movement. There's no positive male marketing where men are strong and go on the hero's journey and overcome and persist through hard times. There's none of that. They have that for women. They have women jumping over dudes, like Saquon Barkley, diminishing the actual Saquon Barkley that went through a tremendous amount of hard work and toil and hard times to achieve that moment. They can just snap a 30-second video and make it seem like women can do everything a man can do. And it's so impressionable to the young women and young men that both of them begin to believe it. So there will be no strong men. Strong men will be a figment of your imagination. And even if you do, there won't be enough of those strong men for women to date. See, women are caught in a quagmire. They don't want to be submissive, but they don't want a weak man either. They don't know exactly. They're caught in between. They want to make a lot of money, but they want to make sure the man makes just as much money, when even in the job market, the inequality is heavy, because it's easier for a woman to get a job, a higher paying job now in society to now. They successfully shifted the gender gap. It's now where younger women make more money than their younger men. And if that's the case, women are going to date older. Basically, through her hypergamous nature, annihilating most of the men her age. Why do you think these women say these men aren't economically attractive? They can't find any man to date their age. So polygamy is going to have to be their strategy going forward. They're going to have to shack up with, the NBA player, 30 years old, the sugar daddy that has you and 10 other girls, the married man with 3 side chicks. They're going to have to pick polygamy if they want a man, a quality good man, because the younger men have been neglected for so long, or settle for a soy boy that we are creating so much of. And what's even more interesting is there is a biological warfare going on between men and the boys. I mean, the boys and the girls. For whatever reason, and people are talking about this more and more, younger women are maturing faster than young boys. And it's not just mentally, it's in the actual physical appearance. Biological warfare has invaded and started. Maybe it's from these different countries where we get our food from, where they're putting these pesticides in, or maybe it's, you know, the big food companies that are in on the plan as well and making sure that young men never reach proper nourishment, just like in a hyena clan where they give all the good meat to the women hyenas and all of the slop to the men hyenas to make sure they never grow up and be strong men. So for whatever reason, the conclusion is this: they either don't want, and this is done by intentional purposes, they do not want strong men in society, and it's done intentionally, or they don't give a damn about men. Either or, the reality is still the same. There will be no investment in men in the future. And when the men are weak, your society is weak. And when your society is weak, it's going to collapse. Or it is prime real estate for invasion, to get taken over by another man that's more masculine and more powerful. They always said America wouldn't be a good land to conquer physically by invasion. But maybe if you infiltrate it through ideology and culture, you can switch it and conquer Americans. And maybe that's the plan. Who knows? But the reality is that there will be no investment of strong men anytime soon.